promote peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. A new beginning. A new beginning. Finally, after all these years, what I have been telling the public about the healing abilities of these oils has all been proven to be true. So, of course, I'm Rick Simpson, and this is the Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. This is about the medicinal use of cannabis. Lately, we've been trying to get this thing going together in Spain, so people can come and get treatment, at the Compassion Club we hope to form. Darkcity Radio's Compassion Club we hope to form. I had the pleasure of coming into contact with Paul Hayden and all the other great people he is working with at Darkcity Radio. Compassion Club utilizes this magnificent plant in every conceivable way. It will do much to promote peace and harmony among nations. Peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. So I hope you will support our plan to build a better way of life that will give both mankind and this earth as we know it a future.
Well done, brother. Well done. Great song. I love the way you put it all together. That's a wonderful piece of music.
This is a public health announcement. Cannabis cures cancer.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Bob, commonly known as. You can call me Paul if you like, and trust me, I've been called some names this week. So, hey, we're getting there. We must be breaking through. I saw Sparky wrote an absolute cracking little bit of text for us today, as I struggled to find it, as always, completely unorganised. But yeah, belting bit of text has gone out today. Just let me give you this little bit of text. Missing Rick Simpson, urgent call out. Has anyone seen Rick Simpson? Last known location, outer space. Here at Darkcity Radio, we decided to send Rick Simpson into orbit so he could get a better idea of the solutions needed on this planet. The last video response from Rick, I think it should have had in there from his outer space orbit or craft, but never mind. From the where have I got now? I've got lost. The last video report from Rick, 14th of July, for Darkcity Radio, giving instructions to set course for Spain. Tonight on the Rick Simpson Show, the Darkcity crew will stoke up the boilers and get a full head of steam. We expect to reach ramming speed by about 7:30. So if you are out there and you have got something to say, please get on. This is it. This is it. This is where we're going to make it real. The time is now, as it says, scrolling across those videos. Okay, there's been a lot of other stuff going on this week, but before we dive into that, the numbers, as always, telephone from anywhere in the world, plus 44 161 298 0298. If you are just in the UK, forget that first bit, stick 0161 298 0298 from inside the UK. If you're using Skype, just stick the Union Jack there, and that'll do it for you. If you're making a call via Skype. If you have got Skype, then no need to make the call. Just add Bob's Backyard to your Skype, and ring us, and you will come into the room pretty much live, almost immediately. So mute your microphones for us and just wait until we mention your name. Right, so what have I got to tell you? Right, well, Rick Simpson. If anybody wants to know anything about Rick Simpson, go to www.darkcityradio.com. And I'm serious here. I am dead serious. There are that many shills and charlatans hanging around Rick Simpson. You wouldn't believe it. And anyone who's known us here on Dark City, we will not put up with that. Yes, we call ourselves Dark City because we're not fearful of stepping where those haven't stepped before. We're not afraid of the dark because once we step into it, it will be enlightened forever. Now that depends upon you lot. Really does. Depends upon you lot. So if you do want to know about Rick Simpson and where Rick Simpson's at, I would start by listening to what he actually says on the last video recording he sent to the world. Listen to what he's saying on it before you turn round and start telling us this is what Rick was, or this is what someone said that Rick said, that his auntie said, that his mum said, that his sister said. Straight from the horse's mouth. That's what Rick Simpson has put you there. More than 50 hours of Rick and other people banding together to blow a hole in the side of these people who are running us round in circles again and again and again and getting nowhere. Nowhere. Dark City Radio. My name's Paul Hayden. Myself and a few other people a while ago conceptualised an idea to have a media stream that was free from any kind of corporate control. That stream's been now running nearly 8 months, or officially about 5 months. There are people, and you know who you are. You know who you are, because you've been removing every single Dark City post that's ever appeared there. Every one of them. They've all been removed. Because there are people blocking Dark City Radio. There are people actually purposely removing our posts for maybe so you don't get there. I mean, obviously the people who are listening to me right now, you're fully aware. You know, you have got here, so you might not be aware of this. They're using Rick Simpson's name to raise money to pay for a radio station because it's the only one that's putting out his money. Putting out his information. And they're charging £3,000 a year. They raised their money today. I've known about this for a while. I'm not into destroying people. If they want to do that kind of stuff, that is a blatant lie, and they know it. They know that. They know that for a fact. They are lying, cheating scum. They've used the good nature of Rick and dying people of cancer to bleed money out of them. And these are the people who are supposed to be working alongside us. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We've took a beating in the last few days here, yet again. But I'll tell you something about us lot. We laugh it off now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we get tired, we get frustrated. But we push through. We don't stop. We don't stop. We're tireless. Because we're dedicated and we're doing it because we love to do it. We love to do it for no other reason. No ulterior motive. No hierarchy. Because we are open source. That means we're doing it because we know it's the right thing to do and we love to do what it is we're doing. Right. We need to get this information out there. It's important. They keep telling us that. We get websites that get blocked. You get suspicious. You start pointing your finger at people, you know what I mean? And, you know, that's not really what it's all about. It really isn't about that. It's about us focusing on what we can do, not what others have done. But this is ongoing right around us now. Right around us. How much money do we need to put Rick where he's asking us to be? Rick. And I've said this before. Put all the dying children down for a minute. All the adults, the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the aunties and the uncles, right? All the ones that have died needlessly already. Well, forget about all them for the time being. Because, you know, there's nothing we can do about any of them. And my heart goes out to every single one of you who's lost someone. There's nothing we can do now for them. It's too late. That's why here we pride ourselves on putting out the information. Being honest and truthful. We've got where we are because we are open source. We've got where we are because we're sharing our information with everyone. Rick's not been getting all that. I know he hasn't. I've not known Rick personally for a long time, but I'll tell you something about that man. He is honourable, just and true. He's one of the few men I would gladly stand by, but I would never use his name. My name's Paul Hayden. They call me Bob. Use that name. I don't care. Use my name, but I'm not hiding behind no one else's. Rick asked me to head up this association in Spain. That's what he asked me to do. Because we get it done. For another reason than I don't seek hierarchy. In fact, it's the worst thing we could possibly have. How can we have an hierarchy? How can we all work together, open source? Go to the Linux fraternity and go and ask them who's in charge. Like, what? Yes, I want to know who's in charge of Linux. Well, nobody's in charge. Nobody owns it. It's ours. It belongs to us. Yeah, but I want to speak to the boss. I'll go and have a word with him down there. There isn't one. It works. It works. Of course, many people say, well, what's the point? I can just spend money and get it. And that doesn't work. It continually breaks. And breaks. And breaks. Of course, unless you buy a supercomputer and put the new Windows 57 on it. So, you know, with this in mind, how we keep getting sold things, that's great. I'd just like to let you know that we're going to be launching Run From The Cure 18. Yeah? Rick strikes back after striking back after proving cannabis cures oil. The revenge. We don't need any more movies. We don't need any more radio stations. And we definitely don't need anybody else using Rick's name on the internet and putting out rubbish. Complete rubbish. What for? You know, if they were making some money, and I haven't got too much of a problem with the people making the movies, right, with the people putting the radios on, these people who are in this so-called movement need to have a look at where they're paying the cash to. That's what you need to do. Stop being so gullible. And I'm not talking to the ones who paid the money. Their hearts are in the right place. I'm talking to the ones who took it. Right? You don't take £3,000, dollars, or euros, whatever it is, 3,000 slave shekels, right, off people, and then give it to a corporate body. You don't, you know, it's bad enough when you have to collect this stuff off people, right? And every time they send you something, eBay, not eBay, it's not eBay, is it? What is it? PayPal steals something every time we do it. Banks, thieving thugs. I've said it before, I'll not stop saying it until they start acting honourably. So, yeah, I've been accused by eBay of being an international money launderer now. That was quite funny. I had to register everything to a bank account because they're going to want to know where it all goes and stuff like that. And it's like, my God, well, we're a charity. We're a non-profit making organisation. Oh, no, not unless you've got this person, that person, you've got a bank account registered with that person. Like, oh, my God. So I had a big chat the other day on air last night. It was with Bob Earthwise, about being prepared and putting in your preparation. You know, good performance, good preparation. Or they used to say piss poor performance, didn't they? Piss poor preparation, the power of the peas. Are we prepared? Are we ready? Well, I know I'm not fully ready. You mean now? I mean, I know that. I'll grant that. I'm not right up to mine. Give me 48 hours. That's it. 48 hours. We're touching on the 10% of achieving what we wanted to achieve here, financially wise. Okay? 10% of it. We've got people arriving all the time. Some of the old crew, great to see you back. You know who you are. Absolutely brilliant to see some of the old crew reappearing. You know, true men and women of their word, sorting out their issues, coming back and fighting again, you know. That's what it is. You can't stay on the front line, battling forever. You can't. You get tired. You get worn down. Well, some of us do. All of us were born here for it. This is what we're here to do. So yeah, 48 hours it'd take me, I reckon, to be ready to go. We're almost 10% of there. I think we've got 9 donations, 9.5, something like that. Something like that. I'm not sure. I have to check it. But we'll call it. We're almost 10% of the way there. This time next week, the India Go-Go will be launched. Roughly, first couple of weeks in August, we will have the society. By then, we need to be able to give it an address. So, we're moving. We're moving. I think the amazing stuff is the oil is already available. Well, this is good news and this is bad news. It's good news in the fact that people really want to get hold of the oil, you know, and we now know you can put them in touch with people over in Spain, and they can get it. It can be got. There are other people. Okay, most of what's happening in Spain is not medical. It isn't medical. The majority of it is social use, or what Rick would say, preventative medicine. Preventative medicine. And I have to agree with that. So, we've got about, just let me have a quick look through my file of facts. Bit of paper screwed up, really. We need orange oats, bread. No, hang on, wrong list. Just 1 second, right list. So let me get down to 100. There's about 73 people ringing in this evening. We started the show, opened the lines up about half an hour early, you know, for the live show. We're just prepping up, just so we could get everybody lined up, and you know, all would be well. There's 4 of us sat in this chat room currently, ladies and gents. There's 30 odd here on the stream. I have noticed somebody in the UK is trying to support us by logging on multiple times, or that could be the hotel down in the south next door to Sparky. If it is, hiya from Darkcity Radio. If it isn't, nice one, mate. But I like to deal with the truth as best as we possibly can. So a few people try to bump the numbers up out there, which is fun, you know, have a bit of fun with it. But the truth is important. What is actually going on is actually quite important to me. That we actually do get it out there. You know, that it does get out there. And lo and behold, it is getting out there. A while ago, right, a guy made a video. It's called Run From The Cure. The information that's in it, okay, you know we've moved on a little bit now. If you actually have a look round, there's all sorts of different ways of doing things. But you know, just like a wheel, you know, it's round. It's got a hole in the middle, you know, goes on an axle, and it works. I kind of like that. It works. Now, I do get, it would be nice to, you know, put that information out there. But as far as I'm concerned, we've got information out there. Should be 1 million hits. It should be 1 billion hits. Look how long it's been there. Look how long it's been there. Now, all right, if you go and have a look at all the copies of Rick Simpson's Run for the Cure, right, you go and look at them all, it probably is 1 million hits. It should be 1 billion, shouldn't it? You think how many people are on? They say it's viral when it gets 1 million. You know, that's what they say. So Rick's not viral. Google Trends can't get any more. It's bouncing around on the top. You know, he's got... Rick's going to have bumps on his head. He's going to have bruises on his head. He's been bouncing off the top of Google Trends now for that long. I'm telling you, he's going to feel like a coal miner. He really is. And he's a farmer. So, yeah, good news, folks. I mean, the good news is, the bad news, I've got to get that out of the way, you know. I've got to get it out of that way. There is a lot. And, you know, you lot are going to have to use your judgment. You really are. You're just going to have to judge us what's going on out there. Because it looks like we're being fragmented into groups. I'm not saying people are doing it personally. You know, they're psychopaths. They're psychopaths. They really are. Egotistical psychopaths trying to stop us. Really. Like I say, whether they intentionally do it or not, or they're just under the Gladio effect where they're protecting their own position now because they've put all this time and effort in. So, we've kind of been held up somewhat again. But we broke through. We broke through. We can see it. You can all see it. Go and have a look. Go and have a look. Go and have a look how many times Rick Simpson's shows have actually been posted on Phoenix Tears. Go and have a look at how much of the fundraising's been mentioned on there. Go and look at Rick Simpson's oil cures cancer. We might have got one in today, thanks to Sparky. And this is what it's come to. We're going to these sites, these other people who are raving all, got Rick's name all over them, you know. Ching ching, thank you very much. Ching ching, thank you very much. Ching ching, thank you very much. You can hear the till go draw going. You can hear the checkout dinging away. And then we've got a band of people. A band of people who generally want to get this sorted. Generally want to get that sorted. You know, we're prepared to give up their homes and the families, the ones that have got them, and step out. Not for any particular reason, but like I said, just because it's the right thing to do. Bob said to me, "You've got to live your dream." I said, "Well, my dream is not to abandon anybody and not to actually drop the baby on its head. I mean, that's about it. My dream is don't mess anybody up to the best of your ability, you know. I don't really have a dream. But this is a wonderful thing that we're actually involved in here, all of us. It's a wonderful thing. People have said we're rewriting history, and it turns out we're not rewriting history because history was written 2 years ago. 2 years ago, at least. People were putting out the information. 98% oil. 99 point something. We need 95. THC, okay? Exactly what Rick's been asking for. The strains and so forth, they're there. Now, look, we still need to get the seed bank. People think, oh, what do we need to do that for? Because you need to stabilise them. We really do need to stabilise these strains. And by that, stabilising that, a stabilised strain, right, is when the plant is pollinated by itself, okay, it produces the same seed. All right, it's not an F1 hybrid. You'll see in a lot of cannabis seeds, it says Ash 1, Ash 5, Ash 12. I think the super cool seeds people have gone up to Ash 17. This has got 17 genetical sisters and brothers. So if you breed that with itself, yeah, I'll take it easy. In a straight 50-50 Indica Sativa cross. Ash 1. Skunk 1. You see it. A lot of people call it super skunk. It isn't. Skunk Ash 1. Indica Sativa. So, you find that in some of the good seed companies, you'll find it. It's still kicking around. If you have a male and a female and you put them together and you breed them, right, you'll either get indica or sativa. What you need to do is get an indica and a sativa, crossbreed them together, and that will give you Ash 1, the first hybrid. How many different strains of natural indicas and sativas do you think there are on Earth? There's 3 predominant types of this plant, yeah. You know, hemp. Rudalis, is it Rudalis? Rudalis. Indica and sativa. Those 2 are known as cannabis. Of course, they're all strains of hemp or cannabis, depending which side of the fence you want to stand on. Predominantly, Rudalis has got higher CBD in it. That's the one that's grown industrially. There's no issues with CBD in many countries, but THC is considered to be the naughty one for those people that, you know, don't want you to sort yourselves out. So yeah, to actually achieve a high yield within growing of these plants, THC, you need to, you know, all this about, oh well, you've got to get seeds, which, well, yes, for everyone to do that, really, it would be nice to have a nice developed THC strain where we get a couple, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and we crossbreed them until we get a stabilised seed that you can plant in the ground, and that stabilised seed will give you, once you go through the process, will give you 95% THC. Right. Let's say you haven't got that. As long as you've got a strain that's high in production of THC, all you've got to do is grow a mother plant, get it old, you know, mature that plant, and grow it from cuttings, and you will achieve the same aim. And that's the same with CBD as well. In fact, I wanted to get here. I'm glad I've took myself down this rabbit hole in this direction. We've got people now that are already in production of, like I say, 95% plus oil. That's tested. Okay, that's tested. Okay, bits of paperwork coming from laboratories telling us, there you go, there it is. So it's not somebody saying it's cheese, right? You with me? Dyeing it with boot polish and sending it over the post, right? It isn't. It isn't. Anyway, besides that, we couldn't be able to do that. That'd be trafficking under Spanish laws. We found that out as well. We found out that one of the best things we could actually be doing is putting something on there for people to actually come and take their medicine. That's exactly what we saw. That was stage 2. That was stage 2. To be able to put on a facility where people can come, they can spend time on the full holistic approach. I don't know if it really is holistic. I'm just using that word because it sounds good. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm a northerner. You'll have to help me out. Do you know, they can put the feet and relax in a bit of water and dangle the feet and relax and be in a nice environment where nobody's going to come in and give them any grief, right? You know what I mean? Nice smells and decent quality food and, you know, a nice environment. You know, their own little bit of space. Bed and breakfast, I think. Do we call it bed and breakfast in the UK? You get what I'm saying? A bit of land, so then people could come there and get it. You know, and we saw it. Lee, over in Spain, has been looking around for places. And he sent me some photographs the other day. And immediately I went, there was a few of them looking at it. We looked at it and we went, caravans. I could do it with caravans. You see, we're quite poor in this way of thinking. We make rich in one sense, financially burdened, you could say, because we make it work. You make it work. We needed a video, so we just went and pinched bits of video from all over the place and stuck them together to make a video. We just make it work. Make it work. It's not broken. You don't need 40 grand. You don't need 40 grand to get your information out. You really don't. So, where are we going? Where are we going and what are we doing with it? Right, well, on the video, Rick has told us to set sail for Spain. And thanks to you people out there who have actually hit that button and you've put that €300 in. And those of you that have sent the 10s and the 20s, don't worry, we're going to sort all that out for you. It's just the logistics of it at the moment. I've said that before. We're not going for the people who've only got a few quid. You know, you could help in loads of other ways. Loads of other ways, you know. You really can. So I don't know if Paul, are you there with us on the line, Paul Chapman? Because Paul kind of bumped into us last week. He's known about what we've been doing for a little bit, but he bumped into us last week. And Paul's kind of gone and got on with stuff. Do you want to kind of give us an outline on that if you're there, Paul?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good, mate.
Okay. So last week I really got fired up with the show and been reading more and more into this and thought, well, I haven't got a lot of cash to put towards something, but I do know a little bit about. I play around with internet marketing, and I'm really into the social side of it now, which has got a lot more weight than within Google. You know, all the different social sites, and obviously Facebook, and you know, but there's dozens more. And basically, it took me forever to try and find a website that was available that was to do with the natural cure for cancer. There was a load out there that were taken, but when I went on to say, okay, let's see what they're saying about this, there was nothing there. And I've got software that finds available things, you know, and even that was coming up. The strangest thing I've seen, you know, there's something a bit strange going on there. Anyway, I finally managed to get one. I've got one called the naturalcureforcancer.org. I've literally just started to build it yesterday. I was up till about 3 last night just doing some background stuff on it. But the good thing is, the interesting thing is, when you go into Google and you actually type in the natural cure for cancer, it's just short of 39 million.
39 million.
And then if you just itemize it, where people are just typing that one thing in, so that's people going to their computer around the world and typing in just that one line, it comes out with 250,000. That's over a month. So there's some good numbers there, and obviously those numbers are going to start rising as more and more people are aware of what's going on out there with the likes of you and all of us. So I'm going to make it my business to make sure that keyword, the natural cure for cancer, gets on the top. Which is going to bring a lot of traffic in. It'll be basically built around Rick. If I do it right and I play the game properly with Google, they won't mess with me. At least I hope they won't. And if I curate it correctly, that means basically getting everything that's relevant, nothing non-relevant. They reward you for it. So there's no reason I can't get to the top of that list, which is going to be great for the cause. So that's basically what I'm working on at the moment.
You sounds like you know what you're talking about there, Paul, when it comes to this.
That's a good story.
Hey, but you don't have to tell us about it. But you know, we have got, and I've said it a few times, we've got people with all sorts of skills. All sorts of skills. It's a case of pulling them all together, man.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. And you were talking about it earlier. When I looked at the Run from the Cure video, it really should be for the amount. If it's something like, what is it? 1 in 3 people are touched by cancer nowadays, in one way or another. That's a lot of people. Yet when you look at the video, it's about, I don't know what it's running at the moment, 800 and something thousand. It should be up in the millions. So I've also started a really good YouTube one that I've got a name, again, it's relevant, Natural Cure for Cancer. That's going to be my YouTube channel. And if I put all the stuff on there that's just to do with Rick, Google reward you for it because they own YouTube now. And there's so much information being uploaded to YouTube. I can't remember what the figures are, but it's mind-boggling. Every minute there's like a week's worth. And there's so much stuff out there. They need people to try and organize the stuff. And if you do it properly, again, they reward you for it. So, it'll get the name out there. As soon as people start seeing Natural Cure for Cancer, it'll take them to the site, tell them all about Rick, link to the show. So hopefully we'll see the figures start going up to Darkcity Radio. That's the plan. I'm really buzzed up about it. It's definitely going to work. Definitely.
Well, I'm buzzed up as well, man, because this is exactly what is needed. I know you told me you got into a website prior to the show, but literally we had a couple of minutes before we kicked off tonight. Like I say, man, this is not about... There's a lot of people out there trying to help us, but there's probably an equal amount of people actively removing our stuff because of their own agenda. Okay? Their own agenda. Rick Simpson came to us about 3 months ago because he was sick of going round in circles. And we're different. We are open source. We do it for no gain. We're not doing it for any gain. And people have got an issue with this. Go on.
I'm not going to put there's going to be no advertisements on it. I'm even going to put a statement on it to make that quite clear that nobody can point fingers and start saying there's ulterior motives here. Nothing. It's just about sharing it. And I'll be urging people throughout the site. There'll be loads of social stuff on it for people to put the video out there. Share this, share that, share that. To get up people's nose. You know, funny memes. I've got mem software that I can create stuff like that, all to do with it. Again, post it out on Facebook. I'll spend a bit of money when I can on promotions. You know, you can get some cheap promotions out there where you've got people with 300,000 or 400,000 people on their Facebook. I'll get them to post the video links and so on, and that'll again bring in more traffic. I'm really confident about it, so it'll be interesting. I'm going to need some help from the team members as well, but when I get a bit more done, I'll put a couple of links out there, and it'll help by getting natural growth, if you know what I mean. But it's going to be cool, really cool.
Yeah, we have got some people who are good with the websites, man, and people who do well. Jabba, who does Babylon Decoded on a Monday. I don't know where we'd be. Well, we wouldn't have a new website without him now. We wouldn't have done. Let's say we've come off this across this psychopathic behaviour before. We really have, man. So fair play. Every time we seem to take a hit, Paul, something pops out of the woodwork. You know.
Oh, don't worry. If someone, for every hit that they do, we'll put 3 or 4 more on, you know, and just grow it. People power.
Yeah, man. Well, that's what I tried to do here. You know, I did say if they ever shut me down, I'll put myself into a position which will be far more. I'll cause them far more trouble.
Of course.
You know, from the position. And sure enough, that has actually occurred, and it wasn't my intention. It really wasn't. Like I say, I am concerned about Darkcity Radio. It is Darkcity Radio that brought us all together, and we have got a very small but tight-knit crew now. I want to be able to get this so we have got more people who are not so scared of new things. That's all it is. All right, it's not being so scared of it. There ain't no way I can do both. I cannot. It's impossible. I can't do this station, be here at my house, and be somewhere else at the same time. Now, the thing is about it, the station's remote. I don't have to be here. No one needs to be here, technically. Well, when we get a total failure on one of them and it shuts down, then yeah, okay, maybe. Somebody's got to go and start the button again, you know. But yeah, so that is the whole idea of it, that it is open source, that other people can use it. You know, it's not just about us and what we want to talk about. It's not just about EMP, although we have become the EMP station, haven't we, I think, in the last few weeks. But this has happened before, you know. We were the media, when we stood against the media corporates and all the other little stations try to suck us into their little, oh, well, we've got our own little station. Then you have a look at it and it's blog talk. Hang on a minute. You know? So we've got to kind of get a good line in there. As you say, Paul, put people on the right path, the good people anyway, and they are being led off. There is a hell of a lot of misdirection going on. A hell of a lot of misdirection. The things, like I say, I've heard about what Rick Simpson's supposed to have said and done. It's like ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous what we're hearing. And like I say again, now, I don't know if I got it out before, but if you do want to know what Rick's going on about, there's over 50 hours of him on the Darkcity archive.
I've got a list to do.
Yeah, man, yeah. You see what I mean? And this is all up to date. All pretty much up to date stuff. Now, we have had a guy, Jeff. Excuse me, I forget your name, Jeff. Your surname, Jeff. I'm terrible with names. Ditchfield, thank you very much. Ditchfield, who's run an organisation which was based in the UK for some kind, called Bud Buddies, case. Brilliant set of people, I'm telling you. Now, they go down the CBD route a lot more than THC route, and I'm quite happy about that, mate. I mean, I've heard Rick say on numerous occasions, this is about the many wonders of this plant and other miracles that we can discover. Okay? I've actually said we need to be able to get this information put in a way that the medical people can accept it, that science can actually accept this. I got a message the other day, and we've got a doctor who wants to work with us in prescribing hemp oil. Or cannabis oil. I think that's just something we asked for, and we've got one. There's a connection there already. He wants to start to prescribe it to his... He's in. We're in. Let me in. The gates of the Dark City are open to everyone. Everyone. As long as you agree, everyone's welcome. So the ones of you that have come and told us that, you know, if we don't do this and if we don't do that and if we don't do the other and we've got to have this and we've got to have that. I'll tell you what we haven't got. We haven't got anybody telling us what we've got to do. Right? And we all do it because we love it. So don't start barking out orders and trying to put in some kind of hierarchy. Yeah, we'll have an hierarchy. We've got one. Right? It's silly. They're all acting El Presidente and they're just people who do jobs. So if you're a painter, right, and you're the only painter who's in the building, right, you're in charge of painting, right? And if you're a gang of painters and you can't work together, right, then you have to take up another profession. This is how we work together, right? Not by having somebody in charge. And that's what Rick loved about us, all right? That's why Rick Simpson came to Dark City Radio. That's why he stayed here, and he might even turn up at any minute. You never know. He's gone. Well, I won't tell you where he's gone. That's his personal life, but he's on a bit of time off. We haven't really put him in orbit. We haven't really put him in orbit. So he's alive and well. And I think Barry had a bit of a chat with him today. So it's good stuff, real good stuff. So it's Spain. It's Spain with more and more people coming along. We're looking there at, like I say, a totally channeled website, if I can use the word channel, where it's channeling that information together from Paul. Another Paul. We might as well start calling everybody Paul, aren't we? That many Pauls at the moment. And that's good stuff. Another good little bit of information, which I touched on earlier, is the actual association. We should have that by, I think, the first 2 weeks in August. Paperwork's actually been done, thanks to Lee and his gorgeous, lovely, no, I shouldn't say that neither, but his beautiful wife, absolutely beautiful. The pair of them tirelessly working to make this happen, really have. So that is actually, I have to butter Lee's wife up a bit, right, because she can speak really good Spanish. hey, you know. Anyway, no, and she's a real nice lady. She is a real nice lady. I won't take anything away from the compliment. So yeah, they've moved along. They've moved along quite swiftly. The next stage of that, right? And now look, this doesn't mean we all kind of sit back on our laurels until the second week in August. I mean, that's only like, it's that 3-4 weeks away. Now it'll probably happen before then, because what happens is, right, they all kind of go on holiday, right? So it's well known about. Now we wouldn't have known about this, but because of our the network that's forming, we can solve a lot of these problems before they happen. So yeah, we need to get that. We need to get that done before then. But at that point, right, and that's like I said, that's the end of it. You know, we've got to get it done for them. Right, or not got to get it done, but we're going to get it done for them, right? Or everything's going to slow right up within the paper trail. And we're almost there. So, a few little bits of jiggery pokery to be done with the paperwork. Then we need an address. At that point, we will have to register the association to an address, you see. So at that point, we've got to have actually rented somewhere. We've got to have at least a third of the rent in by then. And we've got to be able to put furniture in it and get it running. Okay? So I know we've all done pretty well, but we need to keep this pushing. We need to keep this first little step, the foundation, those people who are coming together now. And, it is wonderful. We're putting a list of them there on the site as they come up. And Lee's been carving them all graphically in stone, which is a real nice touch. It is a real nice touch. And whatever happens, those founder members, that plaque is going to go on that wall. Because, that is history. This is history. Not because it's been done before. It has been done before. People have set up associations in Spain. They've led the path for us. They've put the foundation of the road down for us to walk down here. They really have. But never people have come from all sorts of different walks of life, different creeds, colours, countries. Never to all band together to put down something. With that, have a look round. We're doing it. We are actually doing this. So do we need help and support? Mailing list? Yes, we do. We need all sorts of help. We really do. We need loads of support. We need people to go as far as Paul, all the way up to like using his skills with the internet and the googly number button chasing game. Yeah, you know, down to being at the other end of it and repeatedly clicking on buttons. And talking about that, my Twitter account has now been deactivated and I've been banned from Twitter for eternity. Twitter's sending demons to my house now to cast me into the underworld. I've been twittered out, ladies and gents. So if you are out there and you do see the Darkcity things coming up, I was posting Rick Simpson's latest message to everybody in the world, and apparently using social media sites to put out social media is frowned upon. I get a bit confused, mate. I thought the idea of social media was... No, it's not, is it? You see, they actually want us to... They channel them, the numbers. Like I say, Paul brought up about Rick Simpson's Run for the Cure, and the original video. Well, go and look at it. Go and type it in. We did this, you see, just recently. We've typed in. There's that many people now copying and putting them on their YouTube sites to bring everyone to do it, blah, blah, blah. You never get to the source of the information. Most of them are cutting the links off. People are doing this on purpose. They're posting the wrong links to sites and then they're sending you off somewhere else. And instead of getting back to Darkcity Radio or to Darkcity Radio, really, because there's only us. Nobody else is promoting this. There's a lot of people out there with these others saying, oh, yeah, we've been putting it out, yeah. Just go and have a look. They say stuff to us, they're telling us stuff. Just go and have a look. Open your eyes and have a look. Because they're not. They're promoting other things. Because they're running on their own agenda. Open source. Or the agenda of the New World Order. New World Order? It's a bit strong, isn't it? Well, it should be New World, New Order, really, shouldn't it? Really, or no order at all, because it is preposterous what's actually gone on with us. So, rally round. That's my call. Rally round. Give us a good head of steam. You know, and let's get this down on the ground. We're almost, without using the Indiegogo thing, and we're going to put that up. We're waiting for a few bits of confirmations of people. But if we don't get them, we'll just remove the stuff. And we'll go with what we've got. We've said it all along. We'll go with what we've got. We'll start to sort things out on the ground here. I said that about a week ago. I'm going to get a little bit of free time. Now, look, I haven't had that free time. I must admit, my house is a bit cleaner now and stuff, and I managed to get on with stuff, but I've not really got the free time to get out and sort out some of my own stuff. But I am going to do that. I'm going to cut my losses on things and make that transition. A lot of people said they would come and assist with that, and again, thanks for the good intentions, but now we need to move beyond the good intention and move directly into the swift, decisive action. You know, not sitting around forever going, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if we get this done and we get this sorted? We need to raise about, I think it's about 8,000 euros by the first couple of weeks in August, really. That gives us the rent, deposit, and the rent, and the furnishings, minimum furnishings. And believe you me, when we looked at these furnishings, Lee's got a little van. It's only a little van. And already I said to him jokingly, we're going to need some kind of transport when we start on the ground there. And he said, oh, I've got my little van. And I was actually meaning, look, we have to sort something out. Where we're going to take a vehicle over with us. We're going to get something there, trying to work out what was the cheapest. And literally, me and Lee are talking about it, and he's only a little van. Well, we'll get it in that. We'll get the furnishings from second-hand stores and from charity markets and stuff like that. We'll collect it. We'll get it together to keep the price down. That's what it's about. Keep the price down. Keep it working. Keep it happening. Of course, people might want to go and donate €20,000. There might be people out there, I don't know, we'll give them the opportunity. I mean, there's nothing to stop them people coming along now, you know, and doing that kind of stuff. And if that's the case, then within 48 hours, we will have started to sort things out on the ground in Spain. This is all doable, you see, now. There's no reason why this can't be done. The only thing that's stopping us again is this finances. It's as simple as that. I will go anyway. In what we're on now, by October, I will go anyway under my own steam. Under my own steam. And I will begin the process. That is a definite. That's going to happen. I've made commitments to people, and that's what I will do. Now, Rick is going to get out there. He's going to be coming out at the end of August, October, beginning of October, excuse me. I think it said. That's when it was. And, we really could do with something then, if we can, at least something to start working on and getting things going. Oh, it may be a case of obviously setting up the grow first. Getting the building, setting up the grow operation, and well, that's one set up and it's doing it. You with me? We've got that growing, because that's what he does. That will give us the time then to do the other stuff. So prioritising. It really is about prioritising. We haven't got time, as I've said before, to keep worrying about these people who are out there doing it. I've got to leave that to you, the listeners, to the people out there with the buttons and the clicks, to actually start highlighting this and showing what's happening. It really has. I took it pretty hard today to see that at least one radio station has actually paid Blog Talk, their biggest subscriber to Blog Talk, was, and I probably still is, the United States military. And that is a corporate body. You know, it's all very well and good as saying, oh, we're all open source and we want to get this information out there. And then we're paying the very people who are trying to stop us from doing it money. I'm lost. And the fact that these people have knowingly used Rick's name repeatedly and blocked us out. And we've actually been trying to support them on one of their other causes. Real dirty, backhanded cheatery. And you can just go and look it up and find it yourself. Like I said, good stuff. Go and have a look at it. You know, because I don't want people to think that I come up with rubbish and I just make these stories out. Go and have a look. Check it out. And if they come back, you see it. You know, it's up to you to do the research, not me. You see it, you find it. Okay? And if them individuals come back, just let them know that I did actually record the little shits when they tried to blackmail us. That this is Darkcity Radio, and we're always recording, even if we're not live. So next time you try and blackmail us in Rick Simpson's name, remember, the only reason the police aren't knocking on your door is because of my good nature. Well, back off. I think I've had my little rant at that now. I feel much better. Radiotherapy. It's happened before. We've had it a few times. We really have. So, I've missed a call from our Barry, have I? No, I haven't. That was from earlier on. So if you are out there, Barry, please, if I miss you, please get us back in there. And I've got Saduma here. What's that? Saduma. All right. He's not doing it. He's coming back later. So, not a lot of people, as you can say. There's quite a few you're logging onto the server, I think, at the moment. I've seen the numbers rise up. It's not getting out there, brothers and sisters. I've got to, with Paul's sentiments, this is not getting out there. Okay? It should have done. Rick's been hammering this out there. He's done radio show after radio show. He's put it out there. Now, I know for the majority of the time, most of these radio stations have probably got 4 or 5 unique IPs on them. There's hardly anybody listening. There really isn't. So the numbers are limited, and we have to use skills to actually pull them all together and get those into a unified group. And that's what, hopefully, we've done here already. We've created a unified group of individuals that are just going to carry on are just going to carry on. You know, we ain't going to stop. We're going to get there into Spain. We're going to open the doors. We're going to put a grow on. We're going to have to, all the paper will already be done. And at that point, when those doors open, when that sign goes up outside, there'll be no more advertising. We'll have to rely on people who've already come along then, like Paul, to set up some truth behind this. And I don't know, I don't want to put too much pressure on you there, Paul. I'm saying like you know what I mean? Right, Paul's going to lead the truth in this. No, it's not like that. I don't want people to think, misconstrue what I'm saying. We're going to need people that are doing this on an open sourced idea. The idea of because we can. Not for any other reason, but just because we can. Okay? No ulterior motive. We do this because we can. Now, how many times can I say that in 54 seconds before we get the break? This time not a little bit, didn't I? But we are just about to come up to a break. Again, in this next 5 minutes, just whip off. Let everybody know we're here, we're doing it. Let them know we're doing it. And we'll see you in about 5 minutes' time. If I can click the right button. God, rubbish at this. I should be really good at this by now, shouldn't I?
Get all your war rails to fly.
Welcome back to the not so Rick Simpson show, because he hadn't turned up. I never know whether to call it the Rick Simpson or the not so Rick Simpson show. He did actually spend more time on the Darkcity radio last week than he actually spent in his own show, which is brilliant, which is really nice, and that is really cool. I have just managed to post a little bit to Facebook. I don't know what's going on in my little world of computers at the moment. I really don't. We've lost one of the servers. I can't access one of the servers at all. I've not been able to do that since I had to reboot it this afternoon. And we've been running on one server, and my Facebook hates me, which is okay because I'm fed up with that as well. So yeah, gotta keep pushing through. I've got a few people. I don't know if anybody wants to actually add anything. If you can stick a 1 in the box at the bottom, then I'll break off my ever-ending ramble. Never-ending ramble. Excuse me. So, Rick Simpson in outer space. A jingle's gone out there. The message has gone out. We would ask you to look at the Darkcity Radio Start again. We would ask you to look at the Darkcity YouTube and post that video. It's had about 200 and something hits so far. Now, okay, I know the other one got a lot more because a lot of us went out and we slapped it all over the internet. But we could really do with getting that out there. Like I say, we have got about 3 weeks, thereabouts, maybe 4 tops, and we really do need to start making this, looking at a property. Like I say, we've already had a little bit of a scoot around, and Lee will, hopefully, let us know the rough areas where we're looking at, because we don't want to kind of be going and stepping on anybody else's toes type things, you know. So, although there are them in the area, but we don't want to be going into an area where we're becoming competition with people and stuff like that. So, we have had a look around certain areas and positioning ourselves, if we can, where we're not too close to others, but not too far away, so we can start that integrated network, hopefully, of pushing that, all of it then, into the stage 2, where we're talking about a full facility. Now, like I say, we've looked at that, and if we can actually do this, where we can start to give people on-site accommodation, if that's possible, we will do on a smaller scale right at the beginning. However, you know what I mean, that, again, it all depends on the generosity of other people. Now, I've heard a few things about that. I know we've got, I heard one in the break, one gentleman there, unnamed so far, and will remain unnamed until he says something. He's got a claim going through. He's got a claim going through. And against one of the big corporates. So all you people who've been duped by them, he's going to donate the entire proceeds to the Compassion Club. Now, though these things take a little bit of time, I have a 23-foot power cruiser, mentioned this a few times. That's going to get donated to it. There's a Subaru in Pretz, I believe, being donated. There's people working all the time. We are going to get there. We are going to get there. If we're going to do it this year, you know, then we have to pull together and make it happen. So if you are a little group ER and you're out there, if you can get, you know, I know that Rick's going to be doing a hell of a lot in VC, and if you are listening out there, Rick, you'll take your time, bro. Take deep breaths. Look after yourself. All right? You're important to us, bro. We can cope with most of this flack that's getting thrown around, man. If people want to know about Rick, listen to the 50 hours. Okay? He's talking about everyone. Making this better on all levels. On all levels. Okay? All of them. Of course, it's a big one for Rick about the cancer and getting that actually out there. I know that. You can hear it in his voice when he speaks. You can hear it. Above all else, Rick wants to get back to growing, because that is the real source of it. A plant. A harmless plant. I'd like to see it grown everywhere across the world. 2 or 3 in everybody's window box. Like comfrey. Like any other herb you might have. And integrated back into us. as as this beautiful, wonderful thing that it is, rather than being demonized and put down all the time. Now we can do this. I have no doubt at all we can do it. It does need, as I said, a focus of energy for us to push through. Somebody actually said, again, one of these who try and stop us, that we weren't committed. That we were basically a small band of individuals that could never possibly achieve it. Obviously, they've never tuned in. They've never tuned into Darkcity. They've never listened to any of the shows. They haven't. They couldn't have done. We are here working now because we all came together and worked collectively. You can't tell us. They're the only people, or some of the few people on Earth, you can't tell that. Because we've already achieved what we've achieved so far through doing that. So, we just got to carry on. Be as straight and open, as honest as we can be. Accept that that's going to change and don't defend your position. And we're going to be right. We really are going to sail this little Dark ship and we're going to land it in Spain. We're going to drop a server in, we're going to put his internet connection back up, and another ground station will be put in. And the Darkcity ideology of open source on all levels will spread. With or without your movements. Join us or get out of our way. I'm not giving people a choice. They can get simple. Join us or get out of the way. Don't come with your ultimatums. You've already tried it. It didn't work. You fell by the wayside. I like to think that I'm a real fair bloke. I like to think that. I also like to think I'm pretty frank as well. And I don't mean like Frank Butcher or Frank Burke, I mean blunt. I'm not going to go out of my way to appease your emotions. I'll listen to what you've got to say, yeah. I really will. But don't try any of that mumbo-jumbo fairy farty stuff with me. Don't try your NLP. Don't try enforcing your authority. Because you'll break yourself in the process, not me. You can't break the broken. You can't smash the smashed. You can't pulverize dust. Anyway. Anyway, we have been joined by a caller, I do think. Is that right? Why don't they ever have these in it? Crazy Drag? On. It is, because it's broken down. Crazy Dragon. I've got it now. It's broken up your name.
Hi.
Hi there, Crazy
Yeah, Crazy Dragon.
Welcome to Darkcity Radio.
Hi, why, thank you very much. And who am I talking with?
I'm Paul, or Bob.
Hi, Paul. Nice to meet you. My name's Tammy. I was actually just talking with Barry Prince about Rick Simpson and his cannabis oils and the miraculous effects it has on medical problems, and I'm really impressed. And I just wanted to say, go Rick. I really like the Compassion Club idea. I think that's a marvelous, marvelous way to go. And it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things, because I'm a Morgellon victim myself, and a lot of people I talk to actually use the cannabis oils for their lesions and their wounds and find a lot of relief on that. And I didn't know much about it myself until I started hearing about Rick, and then I got a chance to talk to Barry and learn a lot more, and I'm just really impressed, and I say go for it. I hope people start getting off their butts and start making a movement in the right direction for a change.
Well, we have. Welcome once again, and we already have. I mean, we all set off here basically to give a 62-year-old man his dream. That's what we set off to do. We really did. I've heard of Rick's work. I mean, to be honest, I've known about, must be 25 years I've known about making cannabis oil. A mate of mine, his dad's Bilbo Wilkinson, he taught us how to do it years ago. Because so you could get rid of, you could use it all. You could use everything. Those days, it was a byproduct.
Yeah.
It was a waste product. It's amazing, isn't it? The waste product cures cancer. What a cool plan,
How ironic is that? I know, amazing. But it's just goes to show how technologically ignorant we've become. We've lost so many old good values that helped so much, and we've gone blind to what was really good and natural, to the poison we now find ourselves at now, and having all these new conditions, cancers, diseases, and now this Morgellon syndrome and more. It's just goes to show we need to go step back and go back, as far as I'm concerned. And I really hope this is a huge step for everybody in this endeavor that you've all taken on. I think it's just you, Paul, Barry, and I can't recall who else Barry told me, but I'm terrible for names. But yeah, go guys.
Well, it's all the
Darkcity
crew, really. Yeah, okay. I'm the Paul Aiden that Rick mentions in the video.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's all right. So you do know that this is the person you're speaking to. And I was really honoured by that. I asked Rick not to use any names because it's the crew.
I
it is the crew. I couldn't have done this on my own. We wouldn't have done it. And it has old and new. You know, a Darkcity. The ideology of Darkcity is to put everything open source. Everything. It's your radio.
Well, I went on your homepage yesterday and I was reading the write-up that you had on there, and I thought it was very well written, and it puts it right out there, and it really entices you to want to know more and actually want to be involved. That's in my mind.
All right, I haven't read that. It must be really good.
Yeah, it was. As a matter of fact, it was really good. That's why I'm here. That's why I had Barry come on my show. It's like, yeah, we gotta talk about this. We gotta get this out there. We gotta get people to realize and recognize and open their eyes up to what their choices are, what they can be, and
source,
and
yes.
to hear these miraculous stories.
It is
Go ahead.
Source. It's open source. This is the ideology. You know, it's already existed all over the world. It's there. And it's connecting now those open source ideologies together to share freely, because we can do it for no other reason but just because we can. No other reason. We don't have to justify ourselves any longer. We really don't. We just need to get on with it. And I've noticed, you see, that we had you can't. I mean, Paul mentioned, I don't know if you heard the first part of the show, but the number of hits that are actually going on these videos. We're actually...
You mentioned it on my show, yeah.
Yeah, we're posting them more. We're posting these hits out there, these videos, more than they're getting viewed. And there's 38,000 people on a group, and they all tell us they've watched it. Somebody's telling lies. You know, somebody's telling lies. I mean, people tell us they're tuning in. I can see them. Well, I can't, look into their house and see them, but we can see these people logging on. I don't know what that is. I know people have a good intention. All right? I know that. But we've really got to stop with the good intention. We've got to turn that good intention into good, positive, solid action. Not acting any longer. Not all words, not all sitting behind our microphones, becoming keyboard jockeys. We do need them jockeys. Don't get me wrong. They're all part of it. But it is time for us to make this real. The time is always now. Now, I ain't waiting long, and I've said it before, I'm not going to be telling stories about Rick Simpson in another 20, 30 years' time, like he tells about Jack Era. This will be the last head of the hemp movement we have on Earth. We will never need a successor to Rick Simpson. We'll never need one.
Yeah.
We won't need one, because we're going to do this, we're going to push it through, and with help from like yourself and other stations coming together, I mean... We accept the fact that we are the only free media stream, the only one yet. I do suspect there'll be more of us. It's free. You're not paying thousands of dollars a month for it. I know we're the leading edge. I accept that people haven't grasped it yet. But we can't be paying money to corporations so we can actually get money to actually do it for ourselves. We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome.
Well said.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, hi, Barry.
Come on, Barry. You were itching.
Yeah, but here, listen. I'm just sitting here listening to it all, man. You hit it right on the nose, Paul. This is the time, man. Like I said on Tammy's show there today, I feel this is a point in history where we are going to be recognized as the group that did or the group that didn't, and I'm glad to be involved in the group that did. Period.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, it's like people have to, once they wake up, you have to get off the couch and make action, because if you're waiting for the other guy, don't, because you are the other guy. People are waiting for you to make the action, make the stand, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
Ideology? Well,
talking about people who took a stand in action, Paul, who kind of joined us for the first time last week. Paul?
Yeah, I just, hi Tammy, I 100% agree with what you're saying. People have just, I recently just tuned into the show, like Paul said last week, and within a week I've just thought of nothing else about this, and I've started to try and do something about it. And people just need to make a stand. I think people are frightened they're going to lose their jobs if they start stamping, I support this. Because of the power.
Yeah.
There's a lot of corruption out there, as we know.
It's demonized. Yeah, absolutely. Because my son, he's 12, and he takes the DARE program in school, so they kind of demonize it that way, but they don't understand the structure part of it because, that's another show. We won't go there. Apologize, but
I want to just say
it's to get. Sorry.
Sorry, they just want to tie you with the brass. It's just a load of potheads, But if we can get that side, I spent some time last year, 6 months over in Colorado, and they're quite liberal out there with the medical marijuana. But the taxes on the shops are really, really high. They're like 75, 80%. So they've kind of okayed it, but they're making it really tough for them so that they're going out of business. And if you want to go the oil route, you've got to go over the border for this sort of thing. I came across something called wheatgrass. That's how I first found out about the cure for cancer thing, and then I quickly started to find out about the oil. A good friend of mine, Lee, who's part of the crew, we go back a while.
Okay.
He introduced me, and so now I'll be a regular contributor to this. And the more people that can start sharing, they don't have to do a lot, just little things. It's all about sharing it out. And if it's done right, then eventually it'll change. I re-uploaded the video like Rick was saying earlier. Sorry, not Rick, Paul. Because I really think that the video should be going viral. And I've nothing against the guy. The official one that's embedded on Phoenix Tears goes to a guy who's got about 900 videos, and he's got all kinds of stuff on there, conspiracy stuff and everything. I've been down that. I used to do some of that myself with an auto blog thing, and Google doesn't want that. Google wants you to be specific. They want you to be able to find that information, and then they're doing a good job, And so this corporation, and if I do this thing right, I think I can really make a difference to it, And I put a little comment on the new YouTube video that I uploaded to say, look what happened with the tobacco industry. They spent millions and millions on lobbying, and eventually they lost their grip. And if the pharmaceutical companies can, there's no reason with people power that couldn't be turned if more and more people realise what's going on here. And they'll get sliced to the action. Eventually one of the big pharmaceutical companies, one of them will come out and start investing money in it, because they always do. It's the same with organic food. All of the big companies out there are now starting to slice of that market because people are wising up. So it'll happen,
They've already done it, the pharmaceuticals, man. You can buy, I've got a bottle of it, somebody dropped me off here, and it's the Savatex, which is 50-50, indica sativa. It's cut down with a base kind of oil, and it's sprayed underneath the tongue. That it costs a minimum of £125 to a prescription taxpayer, or to somebody who's getting it on prescription. It costs the taxpayer £125 minimum. That's the trade price on it, I do believe. And this can be produced, the same amount can be produced in a bottle. The bottle costs £5. The contents cost £5.
That's it.
There you go. That's why, you see. And what the so-called cure for cancer, whether it does actually cure cancer or there's something fundamental going on between cannabis and the human body, I think we need to have a look at the full research on what it is actually happening, because something phenomenal's happening here. I don't want to say it's a cure. I think personally cancers are caused. You don't cure the cause.
Agree.
They've appeared over the last 100 years, and the use of cannabis has disappeared. I mean, you don't have to be a brain surgeon.
And if you think about it, we're at a day and age now, technologically, where we should not even have these diseases, illnesses, and cancers. We shouldn't even be looking and researching for cures of things that should never be. we're in that kind of age. So why is it happening, and why is it so prevalent, and why are all the kids having autism and all these other terrible things? You're absolutely right. Something devilish is going on.
If you don't want your child to have autism, don't inject them with aluminium.
Yep.
Exactly.
Aluminum.
All the money.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think, like I say, if I know we can make a difference. The production of
I think you are making a difference. I'm here.
Well,
I'm going to
I am
spread
not
the
100%
word.
convinced yet. I'm a hard man. I'm a hard northerner. You know. You'll find out. You really will. I'll be convinced we've made a difference. Yeah, when I'm actually passing the first oil to the first person in this compassion club. That I will know.
And I look forward to that day.
The dream will be real then. Right,
Yeah.
Rick's dream, because I'll have Rick Simpson in the back pottering away, growing his way. Even if I've only got in 3 plants to crossbreed, right? You know, if he's growing in a wardrobe, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. You know, I mean, I'm not committed. I've said it a few times. You know, I will sell my property. I will make this real. I'll sell my home to go and do it. As I'm concerned, you know, like I say, this is what an opportunity. What an opportunity.
Yeah.
But we can't take away from the facts how it all started. We do keep running onto Rick. There are others out there like Rick. There are others. I know there are. They've been run around in circles by this media circus of people telling them there's thousands of people tuning in. We went and did the research. We added up the numbers. If their numbers are correct, the population of Earth is something like 27 billion. And they're all tuning in to internet radio. Somebody is selling lies. The true figures are being cooked up and lied. We're being lied about. For 3 months solid, we've put this information out there. If all these people who keep telling us that they are committed to this cause now clicked on Rick Simpson's latest video, the one he's just put up, instructing us what to do here on Darkcity. If they all clicked on that now, Paul wouldn't have a job to do, would you, Paul? It would instantly become viral. Yeah, the button, the website would crash and break, and I'd be arrested for money laundering.
Well, on that note, gentlemen, I do have to go. I have a prior engagement, but I thank you for the time, and it's been wonderful talking to you all. The best of endeavors, Rick, and everybody involved in your Compassion Club, and we will talk hopefully again very soon.
Oh, yeah, please do. Keep the head of steam up with this. We want to keep a full head of steam. We want to stay at ramming speed until we land in Spain.
Absolutely. Well, hey, if you guys are ever in Ontario, look me up, Crazy Dragon's Den, find me, and I would love to talk to Rick or whatever. That would be awesome.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you, Barry, and thank you for your hour's time. Sorry I stole him away from you guys.
No,
I apologize, but he was awesome.
We have Barry 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I was really easy on him, I promise. I was.
Oh, it's all right. Thanks.
There'll only be minimal scarring.
Really, the thanks should be for you for giving us a rest.
Thanks for letting me go on your show and talk, Tammy. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that is exactly what it's all about, and I appreciate the time.
Barry is a brilliant, he has been a brilliant ambassador for Darkcity and for Rick Simpson.
He has.
And he's
very, very passionate.
He's pulled those divided groups together, we hope to see. If the people of British Columbia can actually pull together now behind this, they can get some sensible decisions. They really can. It's not going to be that hard for people to do it there. And a lot of that...
And I'll be spreading the word here in Ontario.
He has managed to do what others have not been able to do so far.
And I will spread the word the best I can here in Ontario, and I'll plug it on my show as well. And I look forward to the future. And keep in touch, you guys. Keep me posted. I would love to hear from you.
We're here all the time. All you got to do is punch it in. You can talk to us anytime about anything. Anything, anytime. Okay? Remember that now.
Awesome. I will. Hey, boys, bye now.
Bye-bye.
Cool. It was fun. She's a nice lady. And she's opening up her eyes really quick, guys. So that's cool. Hello? Did everybody go away?
I think.
Am I alone?
No, you're not alone, Barry. Excuse me, my telephone went off. I thought you might have heard.
The birds come alive here in the background. Hey, I'll share one thing with you, Paul. Is this Joe Fort down in Vancouver now has got Rick speaking at Simon Fraser University, and that's confirmed. So that to me, my brother, that is one of the best news I've heard. I was talking to Joe this morning, and just the fact that Rick is going to be able to get up and talk in front of intellectual university students about something that is so imperative right now on our planet has just been the best news I've had today. So I thought I'd share that with you. It's turning out to be a real cool trip. Oh, and my buddy in Prince Rupert now. Get a load of this, Paul. My best friend in life, his name is Robin Broomfield, lives in Prince Rupert. He's got a 24-foot motorhome, and it's got 50,000 original miles on it. And he says, Barry, why don't we travel around British Columbia with Rick in this 24-foot motorhome? Wouldn't that be a nice way to travel around BC and do this drill that I'm going? Yeah.
Now you're talking, Barry.
No, tonight, Robin, my buddy, so we'll get a load of this, Paul. Today he's taking that motorhome. He bought it from a mechanic. 50,000 original miles. It's a 76, but it don't matter. At 50,000 miles, the thing's not even broken in. So anyways, he's going to take it to the mechanic today. He's going to have the mechanic go over it and talk to him about it, what the trip is. We're planning on doing 5,000K on the motorhome. Runs on propane. If the mechanic says, Robin, no problem, take the rig, she'll do the trip. Well, Robin's taking 2 weeks off from the city in Prince Rupert, and him and me are going to escort Rick Simpson around British Columbia in a 24-foot motorhome. So that came together last night for me, Paul. Nice one. And then this group down in Grand Forks now. I was waiting to hear about Joe. Now Joe today, I'm going to talk to him again, but they want Rick to do just an impromptu at SFU. I'm going to get this on a actual. He's going to post it right on his Facebook. I'm going to take that link. I'm going to send it to this guy in Nelson, Salmo Jack. Because when we're down there, we want to approach the university there with a little bit of fucking fire in our pocket, saying, hey, he's going to talk here. What about you guys? Are you going to open your eyes to what we're talking about, or are you going to keep your head in the fucking sand? And this is the approach we're going. Every one of these groups down in the mainland has approached their MLAs with a demand to attend these meetings. Whether you agree with what's going on or not, you're going to attend because you're our elected representative, and we demand your attendance because you're going to be questioned in the future about this. I know the birds in the background, guys. Sorry, I tried. I wish I could keep him quiet, but every time I get on the show, he starts to talk. Anyways, that's what's going on with this just in the last 24 hours, Paul. It's just growing exponentially, my friend.
And the bird keeps shouting, do it! Do it! See? The bird's supporting us in the background. I can hear him. The bird often rings in on its own.
Teach him how to say it. Rick Simpson.
I did want to point something out, Barry, which I think was quite funny. On the Indiegogo, it's not actually up to the public yet. And they do little silly things a lot of the time. You know, you get a joint with Rick Simpson in the foundation when it opens and things like that. You know, for $50, Rick Simpson will serve you tea. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Are you with me? They're just silly things. I mean, but they're not all. Some of them are silly. You know, 25 euros, you get an email, and the founder member things there. Of course, that's something we always wanted to keep going. We always said we will. You can star in a Darkcity jingle, Barry, for 500. I believe your bird's going to sign you up for that. For 1,000 euros, I mean, we are having a bit of fun with this. We've got to get it sorted out yet. But for 1,000 euros, you'll get in a jingle, and you can also run your own, host your own show here on Darkcity Radio. And that's all
it's going to cost me.
Just 1,000. Just 1,000, yeah. And you'll also get out of that your own jingle.
I'll trump that. Anybody can have one for free.
Do I get a T-shirt?
Just below that is one that might actually stay in. 2,500 euros. Named a grow room or greenhouse. Literally, that is enough for us to put a grow room, a mother plant room, or a flower room, or a greenhouse up, or thereabouts, you know. So you could actually have that name. So everything that would be produced out of that would actually be produced in your greenhouse, or it's linked under your name. Now, with a cannabis, name your own cannabis strain. So once we actually get the breeding program up and we have actually breeded these, then they could actually carry your name, or the name of a loved one, or you know. And then we come to, no, this is it, Barry. This is the punchline.
I'm laughing.
Are you
at the
ready?
E-type
You
thing.
ready? No, don't speak over the punchline now, Barry, because we're coming up to the punchline. Are you ready? 20,000 euros. Boat trip with Rick Simpson. Get an exclusive day out with Rick Simpson in British Columbia, Canada, as a skivvy on Barry's boat. And of course, you get all the perks above.
And
So,
I guarantee you a fish.
If there is somebody out there within the pharmaceutical industry that really wants to make amends, yeah, you can pay Barry, or you can pay for that for the 20,000. And out of that 20,000, of course, will include your air flight and a slightly stale ham sandwich on arrival. That's about it.
And we'll clean your fish for you. We'll clean your fish.
Yeah, so if you actually do want to go and work as a skivvy on Barry's boat for the day, and then you can do. Obviously, we're going to clean that up. But what I do want to actually, we might actually leave that one there. Actually, I do think it's really fun. You never know, Barry. Sunday might come. You never know. Like I say, it is about opening the door. A lot of it. It really is. So yeah, that Indigo Go will actually go up there. Of course, we do have to time it right. We do want to get it up there pretty soon because we are kind of pushing forward now. It is, it is important to all of us, else we wouldn't be able to. We just won't be able to do it without everybody else. That's the facts of this. It really is. This is about us coming together to make a difference. To make a difference, or at least to assist our brothers and sisters who have been out there pushing for this for years. In a sense, I feel like we should have done a lot more, a lot sooner. We should have done. Okay, and we didn't, but we are now. Let's not beat ourselves up because we were ignorant, or even we were willfully ignorant. I turned again away from all this for a period of time because. You're right, friends and family, and they do think you're a bit crazy, They think the government cares for them and the doctor loves them and they've got the best interest at heart. And now, of course, some doctors have. We already know one who's already approached us. Bear it be through a third party. It's a very reliable third party. They actually want to come and start to subscribe this to patients. And that's, we did ask for that. It's just one. We don't need hundreds. I have been asked about what are we looking for any specific areas actually in Spain. We were just looking for where we could make it real. I think that's the truth of it. I have said we don't want to step on anybody's toes and stuff, but we have been offered quite a few things now, and we don't want to turn them down. So. The areas in Spain are pretty much. Now I have to get this right. I'm not very good with the pen. Oh, he's back. You're back, Lee. Brilliant. The area is we've actually been looking at and considering, Lee, is kind of pretty much the east coast, isn't it? Down towards, getting towards Gibraltar, but not that far. I'm not very good with what it's called. So it is quite a largest area. But what we actually decided was to try and centralise things if we could. We've got a few people who are there on the ground that want to support us, and we thought if we could stay within, say, an hour's drive, maxed out, then it makes it a lot easier to keep the network on the ground alive and functional. However, the actual areas are quite spread out. Of course, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. There are people further north who actually we've already spoken to, like their representatives, you could say, or a representative of them, or a very strong contact with them, that they're actually currently growing hemp already, and oils and so forth, but more for the cosmetic side of things and so forth. We do really need to kind of do some more research about that. So, areas that we'll be looking at in Spain, all of it, as Rick would say. So, we are around. Oh no, you see, he's giving me a link, and I can't even. Around Alicante area. It's around the Alicante area of Spain. I think that's the probably the largest what you'll see on a map. Now that lies, as I said, on the eastern coast of Spain. Now we don't want to go too far high. We don't want to go too high. There is some quite cheap land up there we looked at in the very early days, but it gets horrendously hot. I mean, really. Now look, we can grow in all environments. We can. But that'll be looking at more stage 2, where we'd look at perhaps getting a piece of land, purchasing a piece of land if possible. I mean, people have actually mentioned about us using their land, and we need to find out exactly what that means and so forth. We don't want to invest a lot of things into something that's going to be unstable. So, and that would incorporate semi-subterranean, working with thermal mass, so we can grow throughout the year using the sunlight 365 days a year, and that's the flowering and the growing cycle, using natural sunlight to do this. Sometimes you've got to top things up and to get the right light, but it's not as complicated as it sounds. Of course, we would start with very simple indoor grows to get the things moving. But again, once we get to stage 2, we would be looking at a greenhouse, terrain, a big proper like professional system, which I mean, security has just been put in there. Now, a lot of the time is with this under Spanish law, you've got to have two fences. You know, you can't. What's private has got to be obviously private. You can't wander into it and stuff. So there is going to be, you know, and obviously, hopefully, by the time we get there, you know, it's a bit tricky because you're talking about the future and you never know. So yeah, we could have a problems with securities. That is one of the things we've got. And personally, I think putting the light on the situation, using IP cameras. And putting them live onto internet streams and putting them on the internet tends to keep the villainous people away. So yeah, live stream of these sites is pretty easy to do.
Hey, Paul, I gotta go back to work here, my friend. Just want to say goodbye to everybody, Dave and Lee and Paul, and I'll be talking to you here in the next couple days. But I gotta get back to the old cursed work thing here. So I'm going to sign out, guys, and it's been a pleasure being on the show as always. And we'll keep trumping away here. It looks like the real... I'll be jumping off the walls tonight if the report comes back on the motorhome that mechanic says to Robin, no problem, it should do the trip without any problem. We have a 24-foot motorhome to go around in, and that is really cool, guys, because we can sit in the back, play cards. It's just too cool.
Yeah.
So,
boys and
oh man, yeah! Can you imagine? And you know, I'll tell you a little bit about my buddy Robin quick before I go. His family owns a herb store in Williams Lake, British Columbia. They've been into herbs all their life. The gentleman lives off herbs, and he is really, really coming on board with what's going on with Rick. And now the opportunity to travel around the province and meet this guy and spend some time with him. It looks like it's gonna happen. Let's keep our fingers crossed. I said to Rob, shit, if it needs $1,000, we'll put it in there. No problem, buddy. We want to do this. So we're gonna have a 24-foot motorhome to trip around BC and show Rick the province in. So that's cool. And it takes a lot of pressure off us too. You know, somebody wants to have a snooze. There you go. The home on wheels. Yeah,
stop
it's
thinking
cool.
about painting the outside. What you're going to do to get attention?
You know what we're going to do? I already talked. Way ahead of you, Lee. Way ahead of you, buddy. We're going to get banners made up on the side, and we're going to paste them to the side of the motorhome as we're traveling around British Columbia. Is Rick Simpson on tour? Darkcity Radio. Rick Simpson on tour on the side. The van's I already talked to Robin about this. We got a buddy that'll fucking make us up temporary shit that we can paste to the sides of the motorhome, and we're going to trip around BC and blow his name all over the province. I was talking
Barry.
to Ron about that once. He said, let's have a motorhome. I
Barry.
said, let's face it. Lee, thank you, buddy. You must have been hearing my brain.
Barry, if you put
Yes, Lee.
if you put a mobile phone in that, and then we could put you live on the radio 24 hours a day.
Yeah, we're going to have one.
Yeah,
We're gonna have
and it'll cost us.
Robin,
It'll
Robin's got a
cost,
brand new one.
it'll cost
One of those
nothing.
Yeah, I
It'll
know.
cost-
He's got one of those fancy, brand new, fucking do whatever you want.
Oh, it
million-
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We cover that at this side by buying one of the Skype packages. I mean, although I hate to give them money, but I mean, for what is it? About $20 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
We could have you. Nobody to stop
Live
you.
on the road. Live on the
Well,
road.
yeah. It
There
could be
you
quite
go.
handy as well when you arrive places, Barry.
We could
wouldn't
have Willie. We could have Willie and the boys singing in the background.
What you want to look for, Barry, is a big foam microphone, right? That you can cut a slot in the top. You know, a stage one. You can cut a slot in the top and put your telephone in it.
God.
You with me? So if you get
Yeah,
stopped
got
by
it.
anyone, you can just give them this big foam microphone. You know.
Can you talk it here, please?
Barry Prince live for Darkcity on tour with Rick Simpson. I can see it. You're gonna have a blast, guys. You're
we're gonna have a blast.
You do know that Dave is coming on the raft. So he
Yes.
might. Yeah, well, you might have to get a tent for Dave. You put a tent up for Dave on the roof. On the roof, Barry.
Well, we'll
And a
have
megaphone.
The megaphone.
And we'll put a satellite dish on top. We'll have antennas hanging out the side. And we'll look like we're a pretty sophisticated group of old hippies traveling down the highway, spreading this fucking incredible world around this planet, because boys, do we need it. This is the time, guys. You're right. This is the wave, man.
Well,
we
it could
can
be.
feel it growing.
Barry, you could be, man. It might be in the 80s. Well, yeah, throughout the 80s, 70s, and into the 80s. In Britain, they had a group of people that were known as the Convoy. They in the summer they recaptured festivals and made them free, and they were responsible for Stonehenge and the early Glastonburys when they were free. Before they were took over, and you had to pay a fortune to do it. And the sites were always left clean, and they did the job. They did the job. And they were known across the world as the Peace Convoy. In Britain, they were known as the Hippie Convoy, and quite famous on the media nowadays is the Battle of the Beanfield, where they were attacked by the SPG, the Special Police Group, under the command of Margaret Thatcher, to smash them.
Right.
Literally to smash them. However,
I do have to go, gentlemen. I do have to go, and all kinds of millions of great ideas are coming, so let's just plug away. It's unbelievable what's going on here in the world right now, and we're going to make a change, guys. We are. So let's just keep plugging away. I got to go. I do have to go to work. It's been a pleasure as always, guys. Let's just, I mean, this whole thing is just developing into something that is just blowing me away, and I'll just keep my feet on the ground and keep plugging away. Yahoo! Rick's coming to BC. I get to shake the man's hand. See you guys later. Have a great day.
See you later, Barry.
Bye, Barry.
I love Barry. I do love Barry. So Stonehenge. It just reminded me there, Barry, when he was talking about Rick. I can imagine them all following him up the road. There's Rick and Barry in his camper van, and they're turning up at one place and another. Why not? That's a real movement, isn't it? We'll keep you. Well, I'm sure Barry will keep us informed now, so we can have people lining the roads, waving as they go past in BC. Yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. All fair play to Barry. He has worked pretty tirelessly in bringing people together over there. And Miss Hazel too, who we don't mention too often. She's worked, and I know she has a lot to do with Morgellons, and she's done quite a little bit of work behind the scenes to get this message out there and posting tirelessly and so forth. So I've got to agree with Barry. It is rolling out. We've got to give it a big push. Keep giving it a big push, or as I'd say, keep a head of steam up. It is important. It's important to me anyway. That's what it said when I first put the first posts out for this, that it was important to myself. And the people that I did actually post it to out on on Skype. I only got one out of hundreds who actually complained. They complained. I suppose they may have complained before they even saw the content, which is a shame because I've only done that once. But I'm going to do that again. And if anybody didn't like it, then that's all right. Of course. Hey, I can just remove you. It's simple. It really is simple. If you don't want the information. But if you do want the information, please get in touch with us. You can. We're setting up other emails as well. I can't remember what Lee set one up just yesterday. What was that, Lee? Can you? Are you there? May have gone now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was just compassion.
I always expected when I speak to you to catch you on the other side of the room now. I've got that good at it.
Yeah. Compassion Club at darkcityradio.com.
There you go. There's an easy one, isn't it? Compassion Club at darkcityradio.com. And get in touch through that. Of course, I'm Bob at Dark City Radio, but I'm terrible with text and things. And you know, I have been dealing with the, what do you call it? The donations at the moment. So bear with me, people. Bear with me. And we do get you all up there on the site if you notice, within days or so it gets sorted out. And if the gentleman's listening who needs the date changing, I'm going to speak to Jabber again and get that date changed to the 16th for you, bro. I did notice it hadn't. Or it may have happened because I haven't looked actually the last few hours. So yeah, God, what more can we say to you this evening? Does cannabis hold some secrets medically, financially? I think it could bring sweeping changes to how we actually trade. I do think there's a lot of people who are scared of this happening. I mean, if you're in a business or a business attached to raising money for the cancer appeals to find a cure for cancer, I suggest you start to seek further suitable employment immediately. It's, you know, and the longer you leave it, the harder it's going to be. Because the squeeze that's been put on all the rest of us for a very long time is about to squeeze upon you. That's the way it works. The difference is we're willing to include you and share everything we've got with you. That's open source. We will share what we have, what we know, and what we know to be true, more specifically. That's open source. The other side of it, it wants to keep the secrets to themselves, write patents, say they're theirs, belongs to them. They own the land, they own the sea, they own the sky, they charge us tax on everything. That's their side. I've said it before, you know, that's the World War II attitude. Guns, money, alcohol, football. That ideology is dying out. Our generation, the generation we're all part of now, regardless of your age, if you're hearing my voice, if you're breathing on this planet, it's our generation. That's networking. Computers. Changing the world. It's hemp opposed to alcohol. It's frisbee opposed to football. At the end of our game, there are no losers. Everyone wins. With open source, everyone wins. Whether it be in the softwares we're using to do this, I know the integrations can be difficult, but trust me, even for an old hand at the Windows operating system myself, I have now got my laptop completely set up on Linux. It's quite funny today. Dan said to me, do this and do that and do the other. I said, hang on a minute, I've only had it a day or two. I've used it for about 10 minutes, but of course, remotely, I've been working on Linux for a considerable amount of time. Again, I'm telling you this because it's important we start to put these things into practice, a working practice. So yeah, take the leap. Like I say, whether it's in software, whether it's in the information you've got, don't live in fear any longer. Open your hearts and let your heart speak the truth. Don't worry about what's in your head. Don't worry about what may happen, what may occur. We already know what's happening. We already know what has occurred. We're suffering. We're being put down. Some of us, yeah, are doing fine, but the majority of us, it's difficult. Whether that be physical, emotional, mental, it's difficult. It is. So we've got some good people on the team. You know, Dave, kicking around, Dave Matthews, legal stuff. We've got another cracking show coming up. Sarah's going to be hosting her first round table. You're all the phone lines are going to remain open to that. We'd like to do that. Of course, we can't do it all the time. But remember, it is your radio. Please use it. Get involved as best you can. Because, you know, if you don't, and we don't do this, you know, then it isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen. Of course, the idea will remain. The idea will remain. Like a spinning top. Going round and round and round and round until eventually the momentum stops. Of course, that idea lies there. It lies there, motionless, until somebody like Rick comes along and picks it up. For Rick, he's like, well, look, it's there. It's there. It's not mine. I rediscovered it. It's there all the time. I just picked it up and ran with it. And he did. But where would we all be now without such people? Without the ones to pick up these ideas and run with them and have a go? The idea that we could put a free media stream out. That's all it was. Free of the corporations. Free of these lying, cheating thugs that tell us there's 37,000, 50,000, 100,000 people tuning in. They're tuning in. Yeah, average monthly figures. Times it by 48 and then times it by 30. You know, add your phone number. Divide by 63. Come on. No, I'm being serious, actually. That's what they do. They actually times every viewer that's been on for half an hour by 48. That gives you your day. Then they times it by 30. Our figures terrify them. They're terrified of us. Right now, we're breaking any other... numbers are very low. They're very low at the moment. And we're already breaking anything any other radio station's done on the internet in the UK. They're scared of us. Remember that. There's no need to be scared of them. And really, you know in your heart, they've got nothing to be scared of. We're not going to hurt them. We're not going to hurt them. We're just going to do something a bit different. You know? But when did different hurt somebody? Right and wrong hurts people. Different doesn't hurt anyone. If it doesn't work and we can't do it, we'll do something different. But this idea is not stopping. This idea is going to roll on. That was the Not So Rick Simpson show. Thank you very much indeed for being here. And we'll be back. And we'll be back. And we'll be back until we've got nothing to tell you.
To promote peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. New beginning. New beginning. Finally, after all these years, what I have been telling the public about the healing abilities of these oils has all been proven to be true. Well, of course, I'm Rick Simpson, and this is the Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. Darkcity Radio Show. This is about the medicinal use of cannabis. Lately, we've been trying to get this thing going together in Spain, you know, so people can come and get treatment, you know, at the Compassion Club we hope to form. Darkcity Radio's Compassion Club we hope to form. I had the pleasure of coming into contact with Paul Hayden and all the other great people he is working with at Darkcity Radio. Compassion Club Week, to utilize this magnificent plant in every conceivable way. It will do much to promote peace and harmony among nations. Peace and harmony among nations. Being a new beginning for mankind. So I hope you will support our plan to build a better way of life that will give both mankind and this earth as we know it a future.